This is a CBSN Pittsburgh special presentation.
Hey everyone, glad you're joining us on CBSN, and we are continuing our discussions about that boom that many of you guys felt. And I got meteorologists Mary Hours and Ray Petelin here to kind of discuss more about what that was. I did not feel that, or not feel it, hear it myself. So I'm very interested in what was this strange thing that happened to many of us in the Pittsburgh area.
I mean, whenever I was in Slippery Rock and I just saw it on Twitter and everything, I'm like, I didn't feel anything. What are we talking about here? Like, what's going on? So I was thinking like transformer blowing or something. And then we started, picking the pieces together.
Yeah, you hear the word, a lot of people mentioned the boom that was happening. When it comes to that, you have to excuse my voice. That boom, you have to first of all think, was there an explosion? So our news team, of course, listening to the scanners, calling police departments, calling fire departments, was there an explosion? So that was ruled out. Then people mentioned the shaking. So we check the seismographs around the area. We check with the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey, see if they have earthquakes reported. And I know people reported earthquakes, but the seismographs weren't registering anything. So then we were thinking, wow, what could this be?
It's so strange. And like when we talked to Carnegie Science Center, they had a couple of things. And obviously I'm not the science expert. So like a couple of things, you guys chime in here. Meteor explosion, possible fireball that exploded, supersonic shock wave. For someone not in science, I'm like, what is this? So can you kind of explain and break that down a little bit for us? Maybe not so scientifically.
Well, when you break the sound barrier, you get what's called a sonic boom. Military jets, of course, are able of going fast enough to create a sonic boom, but typically those do not happen over populated areas. So you can sort of rule that one out.
Faster than sound too. I mean, 45, I don't know, maybe 45,000 mile per hour, what, like fast.
Yeah. So you get a sonic boom. So that was sort of ruled out, although people heard it over a large area. The meteor thing, this is where I'm really leaning towards it being a meteor.
And
yeah, and even I was looking, and 500 meteors reach the surface yearly, but only probably 10 are found. So those were some fun statistics that I found.
I know, and that is a fun statistic. And many hit the atmosphere and burn up, and sometimes they hit the atmosphere, burn up, and explode. So how would we know if it is a meteor on a day where it's cloudy and rainy, and it happens during almost the peak sunshine of the day?
Yeah.
So for that, you have to excuse me here. We look towards satellites, and I was looking at what is called the lightning mapper based on satellites. And here at the time, and it's 11:26.
Yeah.
You can see, I'll zoom in a little closer up to Pennsylvania. That little green, let me go the right way, that little green dot. So lightning was mapped, or a flash, because this actually looks for flashes per minute in the atmosphere, which can see above clouds. Yeah. So we have that happening at the moment that people were reporting it. In addition, no lightning was detected at the surface at that time via the National Weather Service. So that tells me you have a flash high up in the atmosphere. We couldn't see it down here because of the clouds or the rain. Mm-hmm. It's one little area, one brief flash, because we had the minimum flashes per minute. Tells me it's a meteor.
Yeah.
So with that being said then, Ray, like what's so interesting to me though, is how there were certain clusters of people who felt this. It's not like a whole widespread feeling across Pittsburgh or even a little beyond, right? I mean, where I live, I did not feel it, but seeing some of the video that people sent in, it looked incredible.
Some people say it's almost like 1 to 2 tons of TNT going off. That's what it can be compared to. Some of them, yeah. Where was the one? So I was looking, and the National Weather Service put out some statistics too. And back in September 17th in West Virginia, there was a boom. And they were saying that pilots in the sky, they could see it at 36,000 feet. So they could see that flash, but then it, same situation. I think it was in Hardy County, West Virginia. And then they heard the boom and all of that, but they could see that 36,000 feet in the air. So I'm wondering if any pilots in the air would maybe report this, but I didn't heard anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a busy travel time of the year. The other thing is sound only travels so far, like thunder. Like if you have a big flash of lightning, thunder, that usually travels about 10 miles. So you don't get these big distances with the sound. So that would be where you would get, that's why we see these little areas where people heard it. And the other thing that was happening was some people heard it, but didn't think anything of it until other people started talking about it. One guy, I shared his name is Martin Ibeck. He shared some of his security camera video with me on my Twitter feed and my Facebook feed. And, he said he didn't think anything of it until people started talking about it. He thought it was just wind hitting his garage door. So some people may not have been triggered to think, hey, that was something weird I heard earlier today. I wasn't just thinking it, and more open to talk about it after other people were.
Would you say rare? Is it rare for us to feel it here?
Oh, to have one blow up overhead, yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. We had a fireball, I want to say earlier this year, last year, time's all kind of running together, but people were able to see that one, which made it, easier to say what it was because people were able to see it. But I don't remember hearing anything about a boom with that one. But that was actually the first time I found out that you could use this lightning mapper to look for meteors.
Yeah, and then so I'm looking up. I'm like, when's this happen? I'm Googling machine. So back in 1869, there were 3 iron meteorites that were in Stroughton, Virginia, and that's in the Shenandoah Valley. So they said it was as bright as a moon, and so not the size, but as bright as it. So meteors look more like lightning than noise. So they were saying the mass was like 50 pounds. It's crazy.
And I mean, when you see meteor and when you see meteor showers, some of those could be the size of a speck of dust hitting the atmosphere, and you're like, oh, shooting star. So I mean, they don't need to be big to be noticeable, but they'd have to be a little bigger to be breaking up in the atmosphere. So something neat happened up there earlier today. I'll tell you that.
I wish I could look the Twitter that people to the tweets, because I got so many messages. Everyone was like, hey, does this mean it broke the sound barrier? Does this all this? And then people were like, aliens or all this fun stuff, and then the movie on Netflix that people were just watching with Leonardo DiCaprio, they were like, I just watched that movie last night, and of course the meteor falls from the sky.
There was a lot of pork and sauerkraut consumed today too, so I'm just going to leave that in the realm of possibility.
A lot of champagne last night too.
Just certainly, it was very interesting. A lot you've learned from this, and just really kind of a rare experience that we all got to take part in. And hearing it from both of you, Mary and Ray, we really appreciate you chiming in and kind of explaining a little bit about what this was, and very interesting.
What a way to start 2022, I'll tell you that.
Like with a boom like that, right? Happy 2022.
This has been a CBSN Pittsburgh special presentation. We now return to our scheduled programming in progress.